Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's open up for business again and wake up the football gods one more time. Okay, so we have almost week number one in the books. Almost. We got one more game tonight. I'm debating on if I'm going to live stream that game as well tonight and roll it into my regular Monday night show. Leave a comment below if you want me to do that or you just want me to focus in on the Dallas Cowboys. You know, it's interesting because, and I hate to do this because Rashid's a friend. Rashid is literally like family, so I hate to pick on Rashid. But him and I have been having this whole thing that, you know, I think he's thinking more with his head as opposed to his heart when it comes to Dak Prescott, as well as a lot of people that don't seem to believe the things that they see that are right in front of them. You know, for example, you got Dan Orlovsky that literally
take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this. Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint.
So I get labeled a Dak defender. And see, this didn't start with Dak Prescott. This originally started with Tony Romo, where people would say Tony Romo is just trash. And I would say, yeah, but look at the numbers. And it's almost like they move the goalpost when it comes to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, and they even lower it too for guys. Because now it's amazing that, you know, that the Cowboys went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and everything else, you know, they almost had a chance. You could look at some things that killed them, you know, the calls, not only the pass interference no call, but also the no call with Larry David slamming his helmet down where we're in the red zone before the half. We have to settle for a field goal. You know, that was, sorry, that was a personal foul. But be that as it may, they'll say, well, the Cowboys got 4 turnovers. So, of course, that's the only reason why they were in there. In the same way I've heard garbage time yards. It's almost like when it comes to the Cowboys, they are searching for any way that they can try and take any credit away from Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They never look at somebody that gets a pick six that changes the game, or when other teams have a bunch of turnovers and team comes from behind or wins or something like that. Now it's the Dallas, well, they get turnovers. Well, guess what? 2014, we were second in taking away the football. After that time, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, we were the worst in the NFL. We were in the high 20s every year as far as taking away the football. We didn't get any. I didn't hear anybody say, well, the Cowboys, they don't get turnovers. That kind of hurts them because they're not getting turnovers. No, we finally get some. Oh, well, they got turnovers. So, and there's a reason why you get turnovers. It's because you're doing your job. It's what's supposed to happen. Anyway, see, y'all just turn me. So the discussion with Rashid is I said, would you trade Dak Prescott straight up for Daniel Jones? And he was like, no, I wouldn't. And that has to be just because he's a Dallas Cowboy player. It can't be about the ability of him. It was crazy because literally Rashid goes, as Daniel Jones is running, please don't fumble, please don't fumble, please don't fumble. Because he knows that he's a turnover machine, and he fumbles. His 30th fumble in 28 games. It's what he do. It's what he do. So he said, no, I wouldn't do that. But he turned around, and we were watching the preseason game and said, Teddy Bridgewater looked good. I trade Daniel Jones for Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm kind of like, Teddy is good, but is he really that good? That he's better than Dak? He said, he's a winner. And I pointed out, well, going into yesterday, he was 26 and 23. So now he's 27 and 23. So I guess you could say that. But I kind of pointed out and said, Dak Prescott got more wins than he does. Right? It was like 43 and 28 or something like that. Because he said he's a winner. Not like Dak Prescott. And I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put out there each week where the quarterback and Dak Prescott stands with the rest of the NFL. Now, there were some great games yesterday. From what I saw from the Washington football team, that defense isn't as good as they've been hyped up to be. I look at that front that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had and say that front looks like it's the best front in football. That defense that kept Pat Mahomes to 9 points the game before they played the Cowboys looked good. And here's where they moved the goalpost too. Yeah, well, you can't blame Pat Mahomes. Their offensive line was terrible. And I said, hello, do you know that we started 5 different tackles, one of which was an undrafted rookie free agent who had no off-season work with the Cowboys, in Terrence Steele for 13 games? No. And I'm just kind of like, what is he that he has to do? So let's look at the numbers for yesterday and Thursday night. And here's where Dak sits. In yardage thus far, now there's one more game tonight. There's 2 quarterbacks that have a chance. Dak Prescott so far is first in yardage, 403. His fourth 400-plus yard game in the last 5 games. Nobody had ever gotten 3 in one season before, FYI. First in attempts, 58. I don't really want to see my quarterback have to throw 58 times every game. First in completions, 42. 7th in completion percentage. I know you're going to say, oh, well, he's only 7th in completion percentage at 72. 4th in PD passes with 3. 10th with quarterback rating. And 7th with points. Every category, every statistical category this week thus far, Dak Prescott is in the top 10. And in 1, 2, 3 of them, he's number 1. Going against arguably what may be the best defense in football. That, my friends, Cowboy fans that hate Dak Prescott, you can't say it was garbage time because we took the lead at the end of the game. Can't say that. Can't say it was Zeke Elliott's running. I mean, you could say it's Zeke Elliott's blocking because Zeke Elliott only had 33 yards. We only had 60 yards running the football. Can't say it was against a crappy team because Tampa Bay just came off of a Super Bowl season. And one more thing. It was funny because Rashid had said, Dak's not a top 10 quarterback. Okay. All right. Did anybody look at Aaron Rodgers being benched yesterday? The numbers for Aaron Rodgers, 53% completions, 133 yards, 2 interceptions, and a 36 rating. And I'm curious if anybody says anything about Josh Allen, whose team lost yesterday, mind you, to the Steelers. Steelers came back and they lost the game to him. Who had 270 yards. It's not bad. 5.3 yards per completion. That's kind of dink and dunk. 58 completion percentage, 1 TD, and a 79 rating. Everybody talked about Dak Prescott and his money. Overpaid him. Well, we'll see how Josh Allen fares the rest of the season. I'm not going to say that the Steelers' defense is the same as Tampa Bay's. Just not. Just not. And I'm not saying that Josh Allen didn't deserve to get paid, because they do. There's only a few people on this planet that can do what they do. But when I think about this, to think Josh Allen only had 3 more yards passing than Daniel Jones, and that he had 1.9 yards less per completion, and they had the same amount of touchdown passes, and that Daniel Jones actually have an 11-point better rating, kind of say, huh? Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, y'all, I hope you are having a great day. And this is my argument that Dak was worth his money. Convince me differently. I'm Mark Holmes, and, well, you know how we roll. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about this now?
I'll see you later.